Hello Aquariuses, welcome to your reading for March 2020. This is a love reading. Keep in mind, this is a general reading. If it resonates, consider a personal reading. My email is below. We can go ahead and set that up. Otherwise, let's see what's going on. Holy Spirit Angels, Divine Guides, Universe, can you please provide your truth, your wisdom, your clarity, and your insight for Aquariuses for love, March 2020. What do you see? What do they need to know? To reach their higher ground, become closer to the universe and closer to the divine. Any messages you have will be greatly appreciated, and we thank you again, Aquariuses. Love, March 2020. What do you see? What do they need to know? Okay, can you please show me the influences that Aquarius previously passed out of prior to March? We have the Ten of Cups in the upright, completion. I will be leaving 2 links below for what your love interest is thinking or feeling, whether it's a crush, a current, an ex, a soon-to-be ex. The other link will be how to move on from someone you're having difficulty moving on from. For March 2020, we have the King of the Ocean in the upright, and it says order underneath it. And then also, whoa, what's going on? Some of my cards are turned. Oh no, they're all turned. They all turned? I don't know. Hold on. My 2020 Sun Moon reading predictions are up in my playlist. Go check those out. My 2019s are also up there also. Oh, you guys get 3 cards here. Ask me a question on Instant Go. Check me out on Facebook. Check me out on Insta. Like, share, subscribe, and or donate. So moving out of March into April, we have the Queen of Pentacles in reverse, King of Wands in the upright, and the 8 of Swords in the upright. Okay, so we start off with the 10 of Cups in the upright, and I really feel like you all feel like you have everything you need at this time. You're very happy, you're very content, you're very fulfilled. This could be inside a relationship or outside a relationship. I mean, things are going really well. Your heart is full of love. You could be in an ideal relationship where you have, it's almost dreamlike, it's idyllic. You have everything you would want. Ideal marriage, great children, great family, house in the hills, you know, all of that good stuff. If you're single, I feel like, you know, you're just fulfilled in what you're doing in general, and have a happiness within yourself and a happiness within spirit, you know, or connection with your spirit. Very happy, very joyful. Okay. Now we have this King of the Ocean here in the upright. So this could be an Aries that you're involved with, if it has, you know, that has resonates with you. Sometimes my mouth gets ahead of myself. Now, I mean, the King of the Ocean, he's a person that has expectations. Okay, so this is somebody who you could very well be in a relationship with, or that you have met and you're considering as a prospect. And let me describe this person to you, and then it might resonate with somebody in your life at this current time. But it's someone who is a patriarch. He's very good at taking care of the family. So he's good at providing for people. He's good at, you know, creating boundaries. He's very authoritative. Sometimes he can be a little bit too rigid, but he's great at, you know, kind of creating a box for people to stay in where it's needed. And sometimes people, they feel like they sometimes even feel like they don't need it when they actually do. Okay, so I'm kind of getting the sense here that and in general, whether you're single and you come upon this person, or whether in a relationship and this is someone in your relationship, I feel like this is somebody who brings order when order is needed. So if you're in a relationship, they're the ones that make the call when you're getting a little too far out. And come on now, you guys can have a tendency to be too eccentric, to go too far out, to think too far ahead. And I feel like this person kind of brings it back. Okay, if it's single and you meet this person and they're a perspective for you, this is how this person is going to conduct themselves going forward in your relationship. They're just going to reel you back when you're getting a little too far out there. And they're definitely not doormat material. Okay, there's somebody that is very assertive. When they have something to say, they don't have any problem kind of saying it. So, you know, I feel like you guys are very free beings. So how you are going to react to this individually is going to be entirely up to you. Okay, you may view this person as trying to clip your wings, and you might want to leave because I haven't even looked at this yet. Or you might see this as, hey, you know what? I do need somebody to restore a little bit of order to my life so I can be the best version of myself that I can be. Okay, so that's what's going on in March. Now, as you move into April, I'm getting concerned because I think that you become too reliant on this person. Well, this can go one of two ways, okay? So either this person starts exercising control and you're kind of glad about it, and then it kind of, they continue to do it and you continue to lose power as a result. It's not going to go one of two ways. I lost my other thought that I had. But this is what I'm kind of getting. So this dynamic might have been working out in March, but now as it comes into April, it's almost as though you've handed over more and more responsibilities to this person. So for instance, if you were in a relationship, you said, you know what, I don't want to have to deal with balancing the checkbook. It's just not something that I'm really good at. I'm better off, in some creative aspect or something like that. Why don't you handle the nuts and bolts when it comes to household costs and balancing the checkbook and things like that, okay? If you were within a relationship. And then let's say that you decide you want to buy something and this person says, no, you're not going to buy that. It's not in our budget. So you did it at first and you benefited from it because it was something that you didn't have to handle. But then what happens is this person handles it so well that it actually ends up curtailing things that you want to do in areas that you feel like that you have a right to do it. And they're doing it in their best interest, but this could be a bone of contention for you, okay? If you are this is somebody perspective that you're dating, okay? Another scenario for those of you could be you say to them, you know what, I'm not good at deciding where to go on dates or what to do or vacations or stuff. Why don't you just go ahead and plan it and just let me know, what we're doing. I'll pack a bag and I'll go. Okay, so, because you don't like planning and you don't like having to do this stuff. So this person says, okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do this. And they do that. And over time, they just kind of realize, okay, well, they take it over more than they should, in your opinion. You know what I mean? So when it gets to the point, they're not even presenting options to you. So, I mean, in a way, you kind of said it that way, but in a way, that isn't really what you kind of meant. I think you kind of meant, okay, it's okay for you to plan it, but just, run it by me before you book something or, what have you. And it kind of gets to this point where you feel like you're losing your sense of freedom and you're saying stuff because you've handed your power over to this person unintentionally, and they've taken the ball and really run with it a little more than you had intended for them to do so. Now, as a result, what's happening March into April is you're starting to feel really constricted and really refined. Not refined. What? Help me out here. Restricted and oh my God. I don't know what the word is. Okay, but basically, like you're in a sort of prison, okay? But you did this to yourself. Because the Eight of Swords is about in the mind. You kind of did it yourself. And this could be a pattern for you. This could be something that you kind of do in relationships where there's certain things you don't want to do. You hand your power over to the other person. They take it over, their power grows, and then you come back and you end up being resentful because of it, because you feel like you can't do what you want and you've lost a measure of yourself and your identity as a result. So I feel like that's what kind of happens here. Can you please provide a clarification on the Ten of Cups and the upright for Aquarius? Who's this person? What's this energy? Additional messages? Why is the Ten of Cups here in the upright for Aquarius in regards to love? Who's this person? What's this energy? Yeah, you don't like anything in regards to practical matters. You don't. Anything that's like, practical or, you avoid it. I mean, I feel like you don't want to have anything to do with it at all. And actually, I don't feel like you do very well with it either. I mean, no offense, Aquariuses, but I feel like when it comes to money matters, investing, anything like that, it's just not your forte. It's not your strong point. And as a matter of fact, I feel like you don't even like to deal with it. It takes away from your happiness. You also don't have good judgment in regards to anything practical. So, I mean, like I said, I feel like it's your Achilles heel. I feel like it's something that you're not very good at. It's not one of your strengths. You don't feel very good about not being very good at it, and it becomes problematic. And I almost feel like you just avoid that to an extent. There's avoidance when it comes to it. And I feel like, I don't know, I feel like for some of you, because you're lacking in this area, you're disappointed in yourself and you get very moody, and there's a lot of emotions kind of tied in with that. So you know, it's a weird kind of thing that I'm getting. I mean, it's almost like, oh, I wish I could find someone to handle this. You know what I mean? So that I can do what I want to do, because that's what makes me kind of happy. And that's the kind of sense that I'm getting. Why is the King of the Ocean here in the upright for Aquarius? Who is this person? Where's this energy? And I just feel like this person comes in, or this person already exists in your relationship, and they're like, oh, I'll take care of it all. And you're like, oh, okay, thank God, praise Jesus. Yeah, here's my stuff, you know? Be careful what you hand over to them. The Thief card just came up. So while the King of the Ocean, you know, he doesn't have bad intentions, but he does tend to be a little bit overly, you know, he can be a little bit overly so. I'm trying to think of how to say this so that, okay, well, I had the Seven of Swords here. So they might be, let me put it this way. They might be doing something that you don't know about that is a little bit beneficial to them. Okay, so let's just say this is not the case. This is not what I'm seeing. This is an analogy. Okay, they take your money, they invest it in something, and there ends up being like a 5% return on something. So they say to themselves, I deserve a 2.5 of this because I'm doing this. I'm going to take 2.5. I'm going to put it away for myself because I did the work. And this is just something they didn't bother telling you about. So while it's not exactly thievery, it's not really something they're kind of telling you about or you're privy to. It's just part of like how they sort of take things over and the decisions they make without kind of letting you know anything about it. This person also kind of, you know, it's their way, I feel like. However they decide to do things is how they want things done. This person could also be a little bit of a perfectionist. They kind of think that, you know, the way they're doing things is the right way, so they aren't necessarily consulting with you in regards to this. But overall, with the Two of Cups, it seems to be a beneficial yin to yang situation. You have a connection. There's this understanding where, thank you for taking this off of my plate. I really appreciate that. Okay, thank you for being such a caring individual and fixing up, you know, making my house look beautiful. You know, something like that. So there is a connection and understanding here that's pretty solid in March. But I think here is where it needs some fine tuning. Okay, why is the King of Pentacles here reversed? Who's this person? What's this energy for Aquarius? Why is the Queen of Pentacles here first? I'm just going to pull the cards out. Okay, why is the King of Wands here in the upright? The King of Wands and the King of the Ocean are the same. I'm getting they're the same person to me. They've just taken on different, a little bit a different approach. Okay, the Eight of Cups. And why is the Eight of Swords here? The King of Cups. Okay, I feel like you kind of sort things out. All right? I like this because it seems like you've identified the problem and you know what's bothering you and you're like, let's just nip it in the mud, or I'm going to nip this in the bud now. I don't want this to continue going on like this because if it does, it's just going to be too much. I've learned from the past that being in something like this does not bode well for me. I'm going to stand up. I'm going to say something about it. So I'm feeling like with the Wheel of Fortune, you decide you want to be part of the solution. You don't want to be part of the problem. You want to improve this situation. You're really optimistic about it. You figure you could turn this around. All you need to do is kind of talk to this individual and kind of tell them, hey, you know, it went a little bit overboard. When you do this, it bothers me. When you do that, it bothers me. And I do feel like you approach it as you move out of the end of March and April because it's making you uncomfortable. And you know there is a connection between the two of you that is worth salvaging here. So with the Eight of Cups, I see you going back to this person and trying to resolve this because, you know, it's like you're confused. You don't really know how to go about doing it. You don't know what the best way is to solve this, but you do keep on going back and trying to solve it, okay, with the Eight of Cups. Returning back to them and saying, okay, what can we do? How can we do this? This matters to me. I want us to be able to kind of work out. But like I said, you know, this is making me very uncomfortable. And with the King of Cups here, I feel like what comes out of this, actually, believe it or not, when you express to this person how this makes you feel, when you say to them, hey, I feel restricted, you're not running things by me, I really do think they decide to change. I think they listen to your concerns. they embody a little bit more of the King of Cups here, meaning that they have more of a softer approach. I feel like with this King of Cups, they say to you, you know what, you're right. I didn't realize it. Sometimes when I get too much in control, it gets out of hand. I become too much of a control freak, and I empathize with what you're going through. So, you know, I would like to come up with a solution also. How can we go about doing that? And I feel like they really, you know, the King of Cups is not like, you know, a real, like, in the feels guy. He does relate to people's feelings, and I feel like he's relating to your feelings. Like I said, I think he's empathizing how you feel, and he wants to do something about it, and he wants to be proactive about it. So I like this. This is like, this is what healthy relationships are supposed to do. So this is making me very, very happy, okay? So if this is your story, consider a personal reading. Just send me an email. Also, check out one of the 2 links down below. What is my love interest thinking or feeling, whether it's a crush, a current, an ex, or soon to be ex, or this person. How to move on from someone you're having trouble moving on from is the other link. Check out my 2020 Sun Moon readings. Check out my 2019s. Ask me a question on Instant Go. Check me out on Facebook and Insta. Like, share, subscribe, and or donate. Adios from Veronica Garnett. Bye.